Today we are going to be showing you guys how we turn this dirt road into a gravel driveway and parking area, and just something that our guests can actually get up and down very easily. And we're going to be using this gravel grid. We found the most inexpensive but dependable one we could online, and we're going to show you guys how we outlined it and we got this beautiful road in today. Looks like we have our first guardrail in place, and this is going to act as kind of a water guide to guide the water from the sides and the center of the roadway to go off the side of the bank. Right here in this section of the property, we have a huge rock that is so beautiful. I can't wait till it's uncovered, but it pours out tons of water, especially right here in this area. You can kind of see it puddling, and Eric's just having to take some time and just study the way the water flows. And we really have to get this in right, especially this one. All the other ones are going to just be like a preventative measure for when it rains, but this one is specifically for this rock that lets out water constantly. I don't know if you guys can see this constant flow, but just look how fast that is gushing down there. Of course, that's because it's a little puddled since we had it held up a little bit while we got the guardrail in place. But nonetheless, it is still a pretty constant flow that comes from right at the mouth of that rock. The guardrail is going to act as a guide. As you guys can see, it's already taking that water all the way across to the other side where Eric is. And it's kind of creating a bit of a waterfall on this side, and it's actually really nice. I can't wait to get this area cleaned back up. This was my rock wall that I was working on ever since we got the property, and I've just been throwing every single rock I found on this kind of bank area. So I kind of accumulated a lot, and it looks pretty good right now. The leaves are in it and it's a mucky mess because Eric's been grading in this area, but this turned out to be really good because it literally is catching every bit of water, and you can see that pouring out from the end there. So this is going to come in really handy when it starts to rain and that water is not going down, just taking our gravel and roadway with it. So Eric, Dad is back, and we're going to get our other section laid out, but this gravel grid is turning out to be really nice. It's giving us a really thick layer of a road, and that is exactly what we need, especially for this pretty mucky area. Now, bear in mind, this area is not always wet. We normally have a channel dug right here, and so it keeps the road dry and it allows the water to flow through. But with having this guardrail in, that is going to be a permanent fixture for this area, and it's going to hopefully fix our wet issue. But having the road elevated some 3 to 4 inches above the actual ground is going to also help us be able to just smooth this entire roadway out and make it comfortable and an easy access road for our guests. This did not turn out as easy as I think any of us expected. It looks simple enough, but trying to get the actual gravel to lay on top of this. Now bear in mind, this gravel grid is already about 3 inches thick, and you're going to want to go over this at least with 1 inch or 2 of gravel. So I don't think we actually anticipated how much gravel it would take to actually cover the grids. In this section right here, you can tell that it's still peeking through the top. Now, because we have help with this, we decided that we're just going to lay as much as we can and focus on the actual roadway and middle portions. And once we were done, we would come back and we would take care of edging out the sides, and then we would get a couple loads just to be a topper, and we would basically skim that down the entire roadway. I'm pretty sure there's other ways we could have done this and other tools we could have used to make it easier. For instance, we contemplated getting a skid steer, renting one today just to make this easier, but we do have our handy Mini X and it has worked for us so far. We don't want to be in extra expenses that we don't necessarily need. And it's really hard getting through to Eric when it's to make things easier on himself. A lot of times he's already envisioned the project. He's wanting to do it as cost effective as possible. And, you know, I can't blame him. I stay out of it because at the end of the day, it's mostly him working with the materials. So once he makes a call, we pretty much go with it. He quickly shut that down once his dad brought it up. So here we are using the Mini X and it's working, but it's not working as fast and as well as we would have hoped. It's just a task and we're just going with it. It's our first time ever using a gravel grid. We wanted to be really safe going up the mountain just because this is a sloped area, and we've already watched the rain kind of just tear up this section and bring all of the dirt down. So we just wanted to add something that would give us the thickness and sturdiness of an actual roadway. And after doing some research, we figured out this was the best option. However, it is proving to go down harder than we thought. We're moving and it's getting done. And I definitely will say once we pass the actual guardrail that we put in, that section laid, it takes a lot of gravel to get this done. Other than that, I think it's a good idea. If we were to do this again at a second property, we probably would be able to do it a lot better, a lot faster. But this is the first time we're using it, so I think we're just doing the best with what we have. We tried to research a lot of videos on this topic and there wasn't any, so I hope that this helps someone. It's hard to kind of film when everything is being laid and going on because I'm trying to be help to Eric to get this laid out for when his dad gets back. And another thing that I didn't really anticipate was you can't really put the grid out. Like I thought we'd be able to just lay out a few sections and then have the gravel matting that entire grid down. So we can't work ahead, and that's turning out to be kind of a disaster because we're still kind of at the mercy of whenever he returns and he crosses over the last section we worked on, then we can lay the actual grid behind him so that he can back up and we can get the gravel off of the truck onto the grid. I still think it's going to come in pretty handy. It's going to keep the road intact a little bit more. I think it's going to be a trial and error thing. We're really going to just have to see how it holds up for the property, and then we'll be able to figure out if it really was worth it. This was a good precaution to do, but I'm just not as happy with the way it is actually being laid out and how fast we're able to go with it. Hopefully by the time we come back with another layer of gravel, it all evens out and we're able to cover most of that gravel grid poking through. You know, hopefully it works out. We're gonna get going and keep moving forward. I'm hoping it gets easier as we go up the mountain because it's less steep and it's more of a straight shot. This was literally our problem child at the property from we bought this property. So I'm not surprised that this area is actually causing us a little bit of trouble. I'm just hoping that the end result of the gravel is a little bit smoother and it actually covers all of the gravel grid. But only time will really tell how this is going to hold up for us and if it was actually worth putting it down. All right, guys, so I think we're going to call it quits for today. We had a really hard work day and it like weighed out on the truck. We realized that the truck was overheating. It's never done that before because we literally have a couple tons of gravel on the back of the truck and we're expecting it to climb this steep mountain and then stay in place when we park it. Eric has been yanking at it with the Mini X, trying to get everything off of it, and it's just kind of playing with the transmission a little bit, and we're really worried about our transmission going out. We decided that we're going to possibly rent a skid steer. Finding one in the mountains is going to prove to be pretty difficult, but we're really going to be double and triple working, and it's proving to be very frustrating today because everything is being tore up. We contemplated getting a skid steer this morning and we didn't do it. I'm actually glad we didn't do it because we are going to be renting it by the day and we want to utilize every single day. So now that we realize that that's something we're going to do, today we are going to just finish running gravel all day and get us a nice pile here. And so by the time we get the skid steer tomorrow, hopefully we'll be able to just continue running the gravel up the mountain. Hopefully the skid steer is less harsh on the actual gravel we've laid already. You can really see those deep impression tracks. So with the road bond, it's a little mixture of sand, a little mixture of pea gravel, a little mixture of 57 gravel. And so right now this top layer is completely sand. We normally have to wait for the rain to come, which washes that water in and throughout the gravel and it helps to bond it. And that's why it's called road bond. But of course we have no rain right now, so we are tearing this thing up. The skid steer is going to help us out so much better tomorrow without having to tear up what we've already done, and then also just allow us to not be so frustrated. It was a really frustrating day. I think all of us kind of had it up to here with redoing parts we've already done, and Eric having to push his dad with the Mini X, and we just can do better at this project. Normally we use what we have. You guys know the Mini X have been really good to us this entire time, but it may be time to just bring in the big guns. So we're gonna risk it tomorrow and rent a skid steer, and we'll see if that helps us out tomorrow. So end of work day one. A little disappointed. I thought we would get a little further, but we did good. I think we did good for first time using this material and not really knowing how it works and how to lay it. Like I said, there's not a lot of good video online of it. So I'm going to try and do my best, guys, to show you what we're doing, even though we really don't know. We are laying this out with our liner, our road liner, and we're just doing the best we can, like we always do. And today we got somewhere, but we're not so proud of our work. So we're going to come back tomorrow with the skid steer. We're going to try and get some more stakes down in there to hold this section down and redo this section. But once it's all done, we are going to come with a layer of actual road bond and just top everything off. So we're not so worried about the little parts that are peeking through right now. We're going to fix this section and try to continue on tomorrow. The one good thing is tomorrow we'll be able to actually really work and lay out the entire mountain, just a couple feet at least, and then we can just do the skid steer because we won't be driving over it. We'll be driving basically up to it. So that's the problem. Eric Dad basically goes up with the gravel, we take it off, he goes up the mountain, turn around, and as he's coming back down is when everything kind of just shifts. So skid steer, pray for rain, pray for us, and we'll be back tomorrow. Matter of fact, if you guys have not subscribed to the channel, this is a perfect time to do so. As you can tell, we're putting our road in and we are heading up to the dome. Soon enough, we will actually have the tiny home on wheels up. They both will be on Airbnb for rent, and we will be on to another project. So make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys tomorrow when we're actually gonna have the tools to make this thing go a lot easier. Good morning, guys. We are back at the property, and today is a really good day because Eric has the skid steer. He's already gotten to work, guys. I got here a little later, so I'm gonna go check out the work that he's done so far, and I'm gonna let you guys know if the skid steer really worked better than the Mini X and everything we had going on yesterday. I can already tell that he's moving faster than he did in the Mini X. The skid steer is so fast. So that's going to be a plus for the day because we're going to be able to really just move through this project. As far as laying it down, I haven't seen it yet. So I'm going to go up there and I'm going to check it out, and I just hope it's working out better for him. I am so excited that we rented this thing because we left this pile here stacked up almost as tall as the actual trailer yesterday. You guys have seen Eric had the Mini X on top of it, and he has worked through this pile greatly. Now his dad is still doing all the runs today, so right now he's on a run, and we're gonna just alternate. Eric is gonna be doing the skid steer. When his dad comes, he's gonna quickly stop for a minute, unload him, send him back on his way, and we're gonna get this pile back up and stocked up so he can just keep running all day. Things are looking good. It's getting a lot quicker around here, so I know he really appreciates his skid steer. But as far as how it's working, I haven't got to talk to him yet, so I'm just gonna have to see for myself. Oh wow, just the way that he's able to dump it a lot faster is definitely a plus. We were not able to do this with the Mini X. We didn't have that much surface area to work with when it came to the actual bucket of the Mini X. I didn't expect it to move so fast. That's amazing. It's fast. Yeah. It is so fast.
Is that how far he's up already?
Yeah, I think we're going to be able to get it done today. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fast.
Yeah.
That worth the money.
Definitely. All right, guys. So Eric Dad just got back with our first load of the day. Now that we realize that Eric is actually going to be able to do all that he needs to do and really fast, it's really going to depend on how fast we're able to get these loads in here today. Francis is here and ready to work. He flew out from Florida to give us everything he got for the next 3 days, and he really has proven to be really valuable to this project because he's really getting these loads in here really fast. Eric was able to get so much laid so far. The skid steer is so fast. It literally has him almost up the mountain. Now, of course, because of the size of the actual bucket, he's pretty much just in the center, and it looks like he's coming back and doing the sides. I mean, just as far as yesterday, we were here the entire day, and we only got from here basically down to where his dad is standing. And he's only been here for about an hour so far today, and he's already gotten from this point where the tree is, because we left off at this tree yesterday. So he's gotten from this point here on up, and that's been within just the last hour. I really think that we're gonna get this project done really quickly today. We were really worried yesterday. We kind of couldn't sleep. We kept just thinking about the project. Should we get someone to come and help us? Should we try and hire out help? And we finally settled on no, we got this. Your dad is here, he's our help. Luckily for us, Jody's out of school today, so we have some extra hands, and we're gonna get this thing done. We always do. And so I thank God for us trusting ourselves and knowing that we can do this, and we're gonna get this done. Guys, I might not be able to film as much as I want today because this is our last day with having Francis here to help us, and we want to get this project done. We are not renting that skid steer for another day. We're going to finish this today. So now that we have the center road pretty much in and Eric can drive the skids there over it without damaging the actual gravel grid, we are going to now try to fill in the sides. So he's coming up with a load and then he's kind of just turning around and dropping it the opposite direction, and that is the best way we can come up with to do the sides. We don't have time to learn how to turn this thing around or back it up, and it's starting to tear up what we've already laid down. So the quickest and easiest way is going to work for us. Eric is trying so hard to learn how to grade out with this blade on the skid steer, and he's doing a great job. I just think that he's so used to the Mini X that it's just taking him some time to get used to the machine, but he's doing such a great job with just only being on this thing for a couple hours. The road is looking really good. It's getting wider as every pass he goes. He's spreading it out more and making it wider and flatter and more graded out. We basically all showed up here today with work on our mind and getting this project done. It is go time in everybody's brain, so it's hard to kind of concentrate. We can only keep pushing, but it's really good to see hard work paying off, because this is actually paying off right now. All right guys, we made it at the top of the mountain. Eric is going to try to turn around and hit the sides a little bit because we've only been focusing on the center. We're really gonna get used to this machine and we don't have a lot of time. So I can definitely tell that he is struggling a little bit to figure out how to work and maneuver the skid steer. Granted, it is a rental and he's actually never operated a skid steer before. So I'm really proud of him. He always gets in these situations where it's like do or die and I gotta figure it out. And that's the same thing that happened with the Mini X. We inherited it with this property. He's actually getting this road in quicker and faster than we could have with the Mini X. And the cool part about it is we're gonna do what we can with the skid steer, and we always have the Mini X to be able to come back and finish off anything or edge anything out. There's no time to even think. There's just only time to keep pressing forward. There goes Eric inspecting the skid steer and wishing, hoping, and praying for one. I'm really gonna have to get him one of these guys because he has been doing such an awesome job today. All of us have. The kid is literally like out of there. He's in the car sleeping, but we don't have that much left to go. Unfortunately, we have kind of worked through our reserve a bunch. This is all we have left. But Francis is doing such a good job of keeping up and just getting in here and out of here that in a minute, we're going to have some more gravel. We definitely have realized that we are going to have enough so we can stop panicking. But it would have been great to be able to do the parking spot and all of that. But our Mini X does us good when it comes to grading out the gravel. The skid steer was just perfect for today because we're up and down the mountain and there's no way the Mini X can move that fast, or it doesn't have that same capacity when it comes to the bucket. If you can see the actual bucket on our Mini X, we do have a bigger bucket, but of course that would take going to find that in the pins and changing it out, and it still would never compare to the front of the skid steer. So huh? That is the big bucket. Oh, and like Eric said, that's the big bucket. So that's the most we can do right there. However, we did realize that we're not going to just trade our Old Faithful in just yet. We actually would still need the Mini X along with a skid steer. It is just the perfect combination. If you don't have one, don't go out there and buy one. We rented this one. It's not ours, although we're going to be on the market real soon looking for one. So I need you guys to like, share, and subscribe because we need some extra money right now. However, we thank you guys so much for watching. We have to get back to work. We just took a quick break because the heavens have shined down on us and we were able to see that we're doing pretty good. We're on schedule. We still have an hour and a half before the quarry closes, so we might be able to get 3-4 loads in, and we're almost done with our project. So this is probably going to be our last load of the day. It is a little bit after 4:30, and we were able to get one more load in, and that's perfect because We only have this left to do, this little section right here. And this is the section we're going to be working on next. And we have a full load, possibly 3 tons to finish this section. And guys, look at this road. It looks so good. And we haven't even gotten any rain to kind of compact it. Once it rains, it kind of washes that kind of dirt effect off the top, and we end up getting more gravel and more of a asphalt kind of texture and look. So I can't wait for this whole thing to come together. Now we still have to go along and edge everything. We still have to fill in a few places that Eric might have missed. But as far as renting a skid steer today and getting everything done the way we wanted to, we possibly saved ourselves, like I said, about $1,000 by running this gravel ourselves. Like, I'm so happy we finally decided to trust ourselves. We have a project, we get a little anxious, a little worried, and then we start questioning, did we do the right thing? Did we have enough? Is this gonna work? How are we gonna get through it? And somehow, with the grace of God, we always get it done. So I'm really happy. We still have the crunch time. We have to go back and get the trailer for the skid steer, and then we have to make sure that's all strapped up to drop that off in the morning so we're not charged an extra day. I'm gonna just wrap this day up, but stay tuned because the final reveal is coming up. We're gonna edge this entire thing tomorrow, and we're gonna go back and do any extra grading that we need with our Mini X, and this thing should be perfect. It is time to say goodbye to the skid steer, and I think both me and Eric are feeling the same way. Like, we wish it lasted one more day because we could do so much more with the skid steer. But we're returning this thing, and hopefully we get one soon. Right there.
Right there. On back. Bring out the surface. Bring that. Oh, too much. There you go. Damn, I keep catching this fender. Apparently I don't know what straight is. Every time I think I'm going straight, I'm going back. Go back a little bit and stop. You want the weight over the... Fine, you're alright. Oh! Oh! Out there? Yeah. No more. Am I hitting the sides?
No.
Oh wow, there's more room than it looks from in here. I don't want... this bucket's heavy. I don't know if I should go too far. What do you think?
Right there is perfect. I can't wait till we get one of our own because this was a heck of a machine. This thing was money well spent.
All right.
It was only, I think, about $350 to rent for the day, and I did not want to spend not one more penny on it because we're definitely going to invest in one for ourselves. So really happy with the way it turned out. I'm really glad that we rented this too. We were so opposed to it, and Eric Dad was just kind of like, guys, if you want this done and you want to be efficient, you want to make the most of the time that I have here to help you guys, let's just go ahead and get this skid steer, and you guys will be able to really run through your project. We've never had one or used one before, so we didn't know how fast it would go. And the minute Eric got on this thing and started zipping, I just knew that we made the right choice. So definitely well worth the price. This thing definitely did its job.